अभी चालू हो गई ना।
शुरू करूं क्या?
ये मुझे नहीं मालूम है।
11:16 हो रहा है।
सर बैठे नहीं अंदर?
नहीं,
ये तेज क्लास चालू करनी है, मैं पूछ रही हूँ। निधि का नाम क्या?
hello dear learners, welcome to teaching learning session. Today we'll discuss about MIS and control systems. What is MIS? MIS is management information system. That information system which helps the management in taking decision. Initially, MIS were built to process the transactional data of any organization and to produce the regular reports. But with the advancements of the technology and system generated reports, it started generating a report in suitable format, and it has created an impact on its user and provoked an action, a decision or investigation. Management information system. It was primarily the primary aim of MIS was to process the transactional data to provide a regular reports to the organization. But with the advancements of the technology, with the advancements of the system generated report, it started generating the reports in a suitable format, which started helping the users in making decisions, and it has helped the users or the management to take the decision. So we can define MIS as an integrated system of man and machine for providing the information to support the operations, the management, and the decision making function in the organization. It's an MIS is an integrated system of man and machine. It helps or it provides the information, and this information helps in operation. It provides support to the management, and it supports the decision making function in the organization. I hope this is clear. What is MIS? It is an integrated system of man and machine, which provides the information, and this information supports in operations. This information supports the management and the decision making functions of the organization. It is an association between MIS and decision making in any application software that processes the data which is not used for decision making cannot be called as MIS. So important part of MIS, it helps in decision making. It supports the decision making process, which the software which is not used for decision making cannot be called as MIS. So the main thing of MIS, it provides the information. With that information, it supports the operation, it supports the management, and it supports in decision making. If this decision making is absent from any software, then that is known as MIS. So the main aim is it provides or it supports the decision making process. It is an integrated part, it is an integration of man and machine. MIS deals with information that is systematically and routinely collected in accordance to well-defined sets of rules. How it helps in decision making, right? Because MIS collects the data, collects the information routinely and in a systematic way with a well-defined set of rules. There is a well-defined set of rules to collect the information, and MIS collects this data routinely, information routinely and systematically with well-defined set of rules. And with the help of this information, which the MIS collects routinely and in a systematic manner, it helps in decision making. The information provided by an MIS assists the manager in basic principles of management, that is in planning, in organizing, in staffing, coordination, direction and controlling the operation of organization. Planning process explains, it helps in management, it helps the manager in planning the course of action. And with MIS organizing, it helps in organizing. Organizing means organizing the resources according to the plan of action. If you will not organize your resource according to your plan of action, you cannot achieve your target. So MIS helps the manager in planning, that is in with the help of the information provided by the MIS, manager can plan routine action or can plan course of action and organize, and in organizing, manager can organize the resources, whether tangible resources or intangible resources, according to the plan of action. And staffing is placing right resource at right place at right time. So organizing, and after organizing comes the staffing, that is placing right resource at right place at right time, so that you can achieve your target and carry out your objectives. Coordination, next is coordination. There should be coordination between each and every process. You should organize your resources according to plan of process. There should be you should staff your resources according to your plan of process and organization. Direction is, manager should provide the direction to the resources, how they can achieve the targets, and should have control on all the resources so that they can achieve the targets easily. So MIS, if anything deviates, if any process deviates from the standards or from the expected plan of action, then MIS helps in controlling that process. So MIS helps in planning, organizing, staffing, coordination, directing and controlling the operations of an organization. This is how it helps. MIS helps establishing the standards. It collects the information according to the set of rules. Every organization defines, establish the standards, how it will collect the information, what type of information is required for the organization. Establishing the standard, it collects the information, then it measures the performance because it provides the information. It helps in planning, organizing, staffing, directing. It measures the performance and comparing the performance with the standards, whether whatever you are doing, whatever your organization, how your organization is performing, are you able to achieve your target, or if you are deviating from your targets, then it compares the performance with standard. Or if organization is deviating from the target, analyzes the deviation, then it takes the corrective action, sends the feedback, and then establishes standards. This is how the MIS helps in decision making. It helps the management. That is why it is known as management information system, because it provides information to the management so that they can plan their course of action and can take a decision. It supports in decision making. MIS system aids management in making and implementing the decision, and there are certain features which MIS must have. The first feature is, it must be capable of handling voluminous data. The data as well as transactions must be validated. So voluminous data is required to take the decision. So MIS should be able to handle the voluminous data. Second is, it must be able to perform operations on data irrespective of complexities of the operations. Often multi-dimensional analysis is required because there could be a voluminous data, and if I want reports on few factors should be able to perform the operation irrespective of the complexities of the operation, volume of the data required. So it should be so sophisticated that should be able to generate the reports according to the requirements of the user. Next is MIS should facilitate quick search and retrieval of information. And MIS must support mass storage of data and information. So if required, it should be able to search the data, retrieve the data quickly and fastly. Next is the information must be communicated to the recipient in time. Communicated information must be relevant. It is very important that MIS should MIS should be able to quickly search the data, retrieve the data, and provide and communicate the data or the information to the recipient in time. But important thing about that is that information provided to the recipient should be relevant one. It should not be irrelevant one, because it helps in decision making. If MIS will provide the irrelevant data, then it would be difficult for a manager to take the decision. So must be take a relevant. It must be a relevant provide relevant information. The information system must always have internet link to dig out the related information and data from the web for better analysis, helping the management in taking decision. So should have a link with the internet so that they can get more information and helps in decision making. Right? I hope this is clear. System view and status of MIS in organization. What is the status of MIS in the organization? What is system? System is nothing but an entity. It is an entity. It could be conceptual or it could be physical. Entity, anything which we could see, touch, that is known as the entity. It could be conceptual, it could be based on the concepts of an individual, or it could be physical. That totally depends. System is nothing but an entity. It consists of independent parts or components, or it is interdependency which is characterized of parts of the system. It could consist, the system is an entity and it could consist of interdependent parts or the components, or it is this interdependency which is characteristic of parts of a system. The system is made up of subsystem which may be composed of further subsystems. See, system, this is a system. System is made up of subsystems. Suppose MIS, if I talk about some system, right, any of the system, it is made up of subsystems. Subsystems means what? Like if I take some system that is a vendor system. If I want to let's take the example of an inventory system, right? Inventory system is a system. It is made up of various subsystems. Subsystem includes like a system like the vendor's detail, right? This is the subsystem. And it could be your inventory details, right? It could include your movement of your products, movement of your inventory. Then it could include, another subsystem could be your purchase orders, right? Another could be your transportation subsystem. So system is made up of subsystem, and subsystem is further made up of subsystems or the components. That is, if first of all we start building it from the components or from the subsystem or the subsystem, and then eventually it leads to a system. First of all, suppose as we have taken an example of inventory system, we have developed a subsystem of vendor detail, then we have developed a subsystem of say movement of our products, then we have developed a subsystem of order generation, then we have developed a subsystem of finances, or a subsystem of another thing, and then we integrated all these subsystems and it leads to a system. So system is nothing but the component. It could be conceptual, it could be physical, right? And it is, this system is made up of subsystems. Subsystem is further divided into subsystems or the components, right? Framework for understanding MIS and its roles at various management levels. There are three levels of management, and MIS plays various roles at different roles at different levels of management. The first or the lower level is operational control. The middle level is managerial planning and control, and the top level is strategic management. Let us discuss all these things in details, right? MIS works at all the three stages. It helps the strategic management level, it helps at the managerial planning and control level, and MIS helps at the operational control level. Strategic planning and control level. What is strategic planning? Strategic planning is process of deciding objectives of the organization or determining the possible shift in the objectives, deciding on the resources used to attain their objective, the policies that governs the acquisition, use and disposition of resources. All these things happens at the strategic level. As the name indicates, strategies, we make these strategies at this level. Management make these strategies at this level. They forms the objective, they make the objective, and they see if there is any deviation from their objectives, or is it possible to deviate from the objective. They decides on the resources required, the resources they have or they want to attain the resources, right? They frame the policies that governs the acquisition. They form this management level or the strategic planning. They forms the policies and disposition of the resources. So strategic level is the top level of management, and MIS helps at this level, right? It helps in decision making. MIS helps at the strategic planning level because of the information it provides to the top management. With the help of that information, they can define their objective, they can define their policies, right? They can decide on the acquisition of the resources, attainment of the resources, and disposal of the resources, right? Then this next level or the middle level is management control, right? In this level, the manager assures that the resources are obtained and used effectively and efficiently to attain the objective of the organization, right? This is the middle level. Middle level is management control. In this, the manager makes sure that they make sure that they obtain the resources required to accomplish their task, to fulfill their objective given to them by the top management. And they can, after obtaining that resources, they make sure that they can efficiently and effectively use the those resources so that they can attain their goals or the objectives. Next level or the bottom level is the control, operational control. MIS helps in managerial control also, right? Operational control, management helps in operational control. Operational control is a process of assuming that specific tasks are carried out efficiently and effectively. Basically, the daily routine which are carried out to achieve the target that has been done at the operational control, and MIS helps whether it helps in decision making, how to carry out your daily resources, or is someone able to attain their objectives or the goal, daily objectives or the goals, or whether they are deviating from their objectives or the goals. And if they are deviating from their objectives or the goal, then it gives the feedback, and then again the operational level decides the thing. So MIS helps at each and every stage, that is at the strategic planning level, it helps at the managerial planning and control level, and then it helps at the operational control level. Next is the Siemens framework. Siemens has given a framework, and Siemens framework has been broken down the process of decision making into three process, because MIS helps in decision making, and Siemens has given a framework, and he has divided. He has broken down the process of decision making into three stages. The first stage, according to the Siemens framework, is intelligence stage. What is intelligence stage? And the stage in which decision maker recognize that there is a problem or opportunity that require him to make a decision. This is very important, that one should understand. If you will not able to understand whether there is a problem, you cannot find a solution of the problem. If you are not able to recognize the opportunities, you cannot encash your opportunities. The first stage is the intelligence stage, and the decision maker, that is MIS, is an integration of man and machine. So this the intelligence role has been, this part has been played by the men, right? First of all, the manager should be able to understand, or the decision maker should recognize that there is a problem or there is the opportunity that requires him to make a decision. After this stage becomes the design stage, intelligence stage. The second stage of Siemens framework is design stage. Design stage, the decision maker determine the alternatives that are available him to resolve the problem or exploit the opportunity. Design stage, what is decision making? Decision making is a cognitive process, right? It is nothing but selecting one of the best solution from the available alternatives. So this design phase is framing the alternatives, forming of the alternatives. What could be the possible solution for the given problem, or for, or how can one encash this opportunity, exploit this opportunity? There could be the n number of solutions. This is the design phase. In design phase, the decision maker determines the alternatives available to him to resolve the problem or to exploit the opportunities. There could be a solution. If decision maker is facing any problem, then there could be a solution A, solution B, solution C, solution D. He could have four solutions. This is the design phase. Or he could have four ways to exploit the opportunities. This is the design phase, that is determining the alternatives, right, that are available to him resolve the problem or exploit the opportunity. Then comes the choice phase. The third phase is this choice phase. In this, the alternative generated in stage 2, that is in the design phase, is singled out to be pursued, and the selection process may involve feasibility analysis or cost benefit analysis. That is, choice phase is selection of the best alternative from the available alternative, and this selection of the best alternative could be based on the feasibility study, right? Feasibility study could be the cost benefit feasibility study. It could be the time benefit, right? It could be based on the time specified. So this is the choice phase. So Siemens framework on decision making. First of all, you should understand what is decision making. If you will understand the definition of decision making, you can understand the Siemens model easily. Decision making is choosing one of the best alternative from the available alternative for a problem, right? Suppose if for a problem or for an opportunity, so choosing one of the best alternative from the available alternatives. To select one of the alternatives, you should have alternatives, and to develop the alternatives, first of all, you should recognize that you are facing a problem or there is an opportunity. So Siemens divided the decision making process into three stages. The first stage is intelligence stage. Intelligence stage is what? In intelligence stage, that user should recognize that there is a problem or there is an opportunity which requires him to take a decision, right? After this, develop the alternative solutions to solve the problem or to encash that opportunity. And the third phase is choice phase, design phase. After choice phase, choice phase is choosing one of the best available alternatives which you have developed during the design phase, that is the choice phase. And you chooses it on the basis of your feasibility study. Right? I hope this is clear. What is this framework, Siemens framework? With this framework, we can distinguish between three major classes of decisions. There are three there are three major classes of decision making. First is programmed decisions. What is programmed decision? There are three types of decisions. Programmed decision in which all stages are handled by following a well-defined procedure. Why? Because the decisions are repetitive type of a decision and routine type of a decision, and are capable of being modeled mathematically in their. And the classical example would be inventory ordering decision. So there are three major classes of decision making. First is the programmed decision. Programmed decision is what type of a decision which we can these type of decisions are repetitive and routine types of the decision, right? And we can model this type of a decision like inventory. We have made an inventory system in which we have defined a level. If the level of inventory reaches at this, where we should order the inventory, or we should stop ordering the inventory. How we will move the inventory, whether it would be first move first in, or whether it is last move first in, or first move last in. It could be LIFO, FIFO, it totally depends, right? So programmed decision is that decision which we can model mathematically, and it is repetitive type of a decision, it is routine type of a decision like payroll system, that is programmed decision, because there is a well-defined salary structure, there is a well-defined TDS deduction and other deduction system, and one can do this. This is a routine type of a decision, right? So this is programmed decision. Inventory system, it is a programmed decision. We can mathematically model this, whether we should order the inventory or whether we should stop, whether we should not order the inventory. The second is non-programmed decision, and it is difficult to structure in a logical mathematical terms. You cannot define in logical mathematical term. The decision cannot be handled in a well-defined and a predefined procedure. The opportunities are not repetitive in nature, and they require a fresh intelligence, a design, choice phases to be executed. Right? Example is to launch a new product. Right? Launch a new product. Every time the market scenario can be different. So you have to study the market scenario. You should understand whether there is a opportunity, whether we should launch a new product, in which market we should launch a new product, which market we should grab, right? So you have to carry out the process. Whether you, first of all, you should be intelligent enough to understand whether there is a requirement for this product. When you have taken a decision, when you come to know that there is an opportunity, then you make the alternatives, right? That is in the design phase you make the alternatives, in which market you should launch your product, what should be the cost of your product, everything, and then you choose the best alternative from the available alternatives in choice phase. So this is not programmed decision. It cannot be mathematically modeled because the problem could not be same, or it is different, right? It could be different, or opportunities could not be same. It varies from time to time, right? Third type of program is semi-programmed decision. Semi-programmed decisions are those in which at least one and no more than two or above stages can be handled by a well-defined procedure. Where intelligence phase is well structured, would be diverse kind of variance analysis. Comparison with the budget or standard is undertaken in a well-defined way to signal the needs of a decision. Design and choice, however, handled by a set procedures. So semi-structured decision making is at least one or more than one stages can be handled by a well-defined procedure, right? And it is half machine made or a half mathematically modeled, and half intelligence of man is required to take a decision, like in the like if you have resources like four manpower and the two machinery, you want to know how you could use your resources so that you can efficiently use your data. So it could be semi-programmed, right? So this is semi-programmed decision, where one or more than one stages could be programmed mathematically, could be modeled mathematically, and half of the procedure, one or two steps you have to carry out by yourself, that cannot be programmed. So Siemens framework model suggests that he has divided the decision making into three phases. That is the intelligence phase, that is design phase, and the choice phase, right? And on the basis of these three, we have divided the decisions making into three. That is a non-structured, non-programmed decision making, programmed decision, and the semi-programmed decision. Non-programmed decision, which cannot be programmed, that is individual or the management has to carry out the decision. This cannot be mathematically modeled, right? Non-programmed decisions. Programmed decisions are those decisions which are programmed, and every stage is carry out. That is the intelligence stage, choice stage, and the design and the choice stage is carried out automatically. That is programmed decision. And semi-programmed decision, where one or more than one stages are carried out or handled by a well-defined procedure, and rest of the procedure is carried out by the men, right? I hope this is clear. Now we'll discuss about the factor facilitating implementations of MIS. Right? There are few factors which will increase the chances of successful implementation of MIS. It helps in successful implementation of MIS. What are those? That is involvement of the top management in computerization efforts, in defining the purpose, goals of computer within the organization. If you want your MIS to be successful in the organization, so it is very important that that the top management should take interest in the computerization efforts. When the top management will take interest in the computerization efforts, then it will then he would be able to define the purpose of this MIS, the goals of the computer within the organization. So top management should take interest. Second is for to be a successful implementation of MIS, the second factor is selection of IT manager who is well versed with IT tools and also has skills to involve manager in choosing application areas, identifying information needs, and designing the reports. You should have thorough knowledge about the IT manager should have thorough knowledge about the IT tools, then only he can define what is required by the organization. He should be involved in implementation and development of MIS. The third factor is a computer staff which has interdisciplinary skills in computers, management, and operational research. They should be able to understand the computers, management, and operation. A balanced expenditure on hardware and software. It should not be extravagant. Right? Now let us discuss about the levels of management. There are three levels of management: top level of management, middle level of management, and the low level of management. Top level of management is also known as the strategic level of management. Middle level of management is known as the tactical level of management, and lower level is also known as the operational level of management. I'm repeating a bit again. Top level of management is known as strategic level of management. Middle level of management is also known as Tactical level of management and lower level of management is also known as the operational level of management. Top level of management or the strategical level of management, as the name indicates, strategies. It establishes the strategies, it establishes the policies, the plans, the objectives of the company, as well as the budget framework under which various departments will work. This is the work of the top level of management. It defines the budget, it defines the objectives, it defines the policies and the procedure. All this strategic decision has been taken by the top level of management. That is why it is known as the strategic management, strategic level or the top level of management, right? Then these factors are passed down to the middle management. The procedures, the plans, the objectives have been made by the top level of management has been passed down to the middle management or the tactical level of management. They are translated into cost or profit center concept. These are reviewed, analyzed, and modified according to the overall plans and policies until agreement is reached. So, actually, the framework or the policies or the objective are translated into cost or the profit center concept because it allocates the budget they want. It should carry out the process. Business means profits. Top management wants the profit, so it translated it into cost and the profits. And these are reviewed and analyzed. These procedures, policies made by the top strategic level or the top level, they could be reviewed, they could be analyzed and modified accordance with the overall plans and policies until agreement is reached. Next is middle level of management. Middle management issues the specific schedules and measurement yardstick to the operational management. As the decisions taken by the top level has been passed down to the middle management, and then middle management or the tactical management further makes its objective to achieve the objectives given to them by the top management. They form a specific schedules to carry out the objectives to achieve those objectives, and they measure the yardsticks of the operational management. They make the objectives, so to achieve the objectives given to them, they make the goals for the objectives given to them by the top management and pass the goals to the operational level. Operational level of management has responsibilities of producing goods and services to meet the revenue, profits, and other goals, which in turn will enable the organization to achieve its overall objectives. Right? This tactical level operation. There are three levels of management: top level of management or strategical level of management, then the middle level or tactical level of management, and the last is the operational level or the specific or the low level of management. Top level of management make these strategies, policies, procedures, objectives to be carried out, right? And these objectives have made by the top level of management have been given to the passed down to the middle level or the tactical level of management. Middle level of management make the further objectives, make short goals or small goals of these objectives so that they can achieve the goals or the objectives given to them by the tactical level, and these goals have been passed to the operational level by the middle management, right? And at operational level has a responsibility to carry out routine procedures, that is producing the goods and the services and whatever the routine procedures are carried out by the operational level, and they fulfill the objectives or the goals given to them by the middle management. So operational level carry out day-to-day process, and with this enables the organization to achieve the overall objective. They carry out everyday process and then they provide the results to the top management, to the middle management. Then middle management give results to the top management. This is how the organization able to achieve the target. So objectives have been passed from top to bottom and results have been passed from bottom to top. That is how any organization works. Organization and information systems are two-way relationship. There is a two-way relationship between the organization and the information system, right? A system is an assembly of elements arranged in a logical order to achieve certain objectives. See, organization and information, there is a two-way relationship, and these elements, system, what is a system? System, as I told you, system is made up of subsystems, subsystems of the components, and this system is nothing but the assembly of elements or the components arranged in a logical order to to achieve certain objective. These are arranged in a way that so that they can achieve the targets. The organization is also a system because it is divided into subsystem or sub-subsystem. Like an organization is divided into department is further, could be further divided, right? So it is a system. H.G. Levitt advocates that organization should be viewed as a socio-technical system consisting of people, tasks, technology, culture, and structure. So H.G. Levitt has given a model according to him that one should view the organization as a socio-technical system. Socio-technical system? Socio-technical system means that it consists of a people. Without human resources, you cannot achieve your objectives. It involves the task, technology, culture, and structure. This is the H.G. Levitt model. Organization consists of a people. People, task. People carry out the task. Technology helps the human resources, and human resources helps the technology. That is a two-way model. Technology helps the people helps the technology. In advancement of the technology, human resources plays an important role. Task has been carried out by the people, and again the task is related to people. Structure or the culture. Structure and the culture are another two aspects. Structure is related to the people. There is a well-defined hierarchy. Structure is related to the managerial task, where there is a well-defined task who will carry out which type of a task. Technology is related to this structure. When we say that we are using MIS, that means structure and the technology helps in the development of the organization. Similarly, the task and the technology helps each other because as I told that MIS technology helps in carry out a daily routine task or to helps in decision making. This is H.G. Levitt model. H.G. Levitt model states that there is a organization should be viewed as an association of socio-technical system, right? It's a two-way model, and all these are arranged in a logical order. Clear? An organization is an open system that has the capacity to adjust itself in the changing environment, and if organization is not able to adjust according to the environment, then it would be difficult for organization to sustain or to survive in the business world. The goal of organization changes in response to change in organization or in its environment. The organization must change its systems to stay in tune with the goals. See, as with change in the environment, organization should adjust itself to the changing environment. What is required by the market? What is the demand of the market? Then organization should adjust according to the changing environment. And when organization is changing, the goals of organization changes with response to the change in organization or its environment. So they should change their goals according to the change in the according to the requirement or according to the change in the environment. Third point is the organization must change as a system to stay in tune with goals. And to stay in tune, the organization must change as a system. System should be changed to stay in tune. MIS should be designed viewing the organization as a system. MIS sees the organization as a system. System is made up of subsystems and various components. So MIS should be developed viewing as a organization as a system. MIS design should be give due weightage to human side of the organization and its culture. To give reports, it should be designed to give reports to the main decision maker, or the designer must study the organization structure and identify the power center. Structure, technology should understand the structure of the organization, and then according to the structure of the organization, the technology should be developed, and technology should be able to fulfill the requirement of the structure, and one should see the organization as a structure, right? So this is required that MIS and or the technology should view the structure, should understand the structure of the organization or the organization, and should be developed according to the requirements, right? In the tall hierarchy with a high degree of centralization, the MIS should give control information to the higher management. Where there is a central point of decision maker, then MIS should provide the information or should give control information to the higher management, because MIS helps in decision making. When there is the high degree of centralization, then MIS should be developed in such a way that the higher authorities could view the reports and take the decision. If the organization is structured on the functional basis, then MIS should have a functional design. It should be designed in such a way that they can get the functional on the functional basis one can take a decision. If the organization work on the standards system where the rules, policies, procedures have been laid down, then they should become a part of MIS. Then only it could help in decision making. Is this clear? MIS as a decision assisting tool. How MIS helps in decision assisting tool? If a problem is unstructured, the solution cannot be arrived at using a set of rules and procedure. Unstructured problem, there are two types of a problem: structured problem and unstructured problem. As we have discussed the various types of decision making: programmed decision making, semi-programmed decision making, and non-programmed decision making. Similarly, problem could be the structured problem or the unstructured problem. Structured problem, that is really where we can use the machine, by where we can solve the problem by using the rules and policies and problem procedures. That is the structured type of a problem. Like payroll problems or inventory problem is a structured type of a problem. Unstructured problems are those problems which cannot be arrived at using a set of rules or a procedure. We cannot solve the unstructured problems by using the well-defined sets or rules or the procedure. It is like a non-programmed. Unstructured program requires a non-programmed decision-making system where we cannot mathematically model the solution. It needs manpower. It needs information from the system, as well as it needs manager to implement its knowledge to solve the problem. This type of problem is known as the unstructured problem, and solution is known as, and the program is known as non-programmed solution, where we cannot mathematically model the problem or the solution. The rules and procedure at best can help define the alternatives. That is, it could help in designing phase. It could suggest us the alternatives. The information that assists in decision maker in making a non-programmed decision is referred to as decision support system. Until we were discussing about MIS, now this is DSS. DSS stands for decision support system. A decision support system is again an information system which helps in making a non-programmed decision when the problem is unstructured. And when the problem is unstructured and the decision is a non-programmed uh, sort of a decision where we cannot mathematically model the solution, then that type of information system that assists the unstructured problem or non-programmed decision is referred to as decision support system, right? Decision support system usually has a large amount of data that is managed by the database management system. It presents various views of data to decision maker to facilitate decision making. So I hope this is clear. What is MIS? What is DSS? MIS, Management Information System. It assists the management to take the decision. Basically, MIS helps in largely helps in taking a decision of programmed decision making or semi-programmed decision making when the when the problem is of unstructured problem, when the problem is unstructured problem, or solution is non-programmed type of a solution, right, where we cannot mathematically model the solution, then we usually use DSS. Then DSS comes handy, that it helps. DSS, decision support system, helps the user to take a decision. It assists in decision making, and the decision maker, the DSS, have a large amount of data which is managed by the data management system, by DBMS, database management system. And DSS presents a various views of data to decision maker to facilitate decision making. It presents the data in the various forms so that it can help, so that decision maker can take a correct and the right decision when it is required. The views and reports may present details according to the needs of the user, because it has a voluminous data that has been managed by the database management system. And DSS, as I told you, that DSS presents the various views of data to decision maker to facilitate the decision making, right? It helps the decision making. So it presents the reports or the views according to the needs of the user. Whether I want to view record as in the forms of pie charts, graphs, or a detailed text format, or or I want to see it in a tabular form, that it helps to view, and reports may present in detail according to the needs of the requirement. It whatever field and records I want, it represents those fields and records in a way. It represents those fields records in a way which in a way I want, in the way the user wants, right? The user may prefer graphs, whereas another may use to see data in a tabular form. That is what I told you, that it presents the views and reports according to the requirement of the user. It could be in the graphical format, it could be in the tabular format, it could be in the text format, right? It totally depends on the requirement. And DSS presents the views and reports in a various forms. DSS is designed to provide presentation flexibility to its user. Details can be rolled up or drilled down depending on the requirement. As I told you, if I have hundreds of records and I want to see the specific records, then it could be drilled down or it could be rolled up according to my requirements, according to the requirements of the problem. If I want to see some specific type of data for a specific organization or for a specific user, then DSS will present the report in according to the requirement of the user. So it has the flexibility, it provides the flexibility to the user, right? It could be drilled down or it could be rolled up, it totally depends. DSS should provide facility to its user to perform statistical analysis of data. Then again, this is again a very important thing that one can carry out the statistical analysis. It provides the facility to its user to perform the statistical analysis of the data. Suppose if I want to find out the variables or the impact of one variable, say impact of cost or the price of my product on the sales of my product, then I can carry out the statistical analysis of my data, right? Or if I want to find out the impact of the cost as well as packaging on my sales, then I can perform the statistical analysis. So it provides, DSS provides the facility to its user to perform statistical analysis. Then it should have provision to dig out secondary data from web. There are whole lots of software package that can do amazingly good analysis of data. Again, this helps in this can dig out the data from the web. Like in digital marketing, if I want to see my competitors performance on certain variables, then DSS can dig out the secondary data. It can do what if analysis to analyze worst and the best scenario. This is very important. It can do what if analysis, worst and the best scenario, right? If I want to find out, if I want to take a decision, and it helps in what if analysis. If I take this decision, then what will happen? If I take this decision, what will happen? Then it carries out what if analysis to understand the best scenario. There are situations when the closed form the solution is there are situations when a closed form of solution is not available. In such situation, a simulation model is constructed to gain insight. Again, it is important. Closed solution, open solution is when you don't have solutions. Closed solution is situation means you don't have alternatives, you are not able to get the results, right? Then it helps, then it in such situation a simulation model is constructed. It helps in construction of a simulation model to gain the insight where the program is non-programmed or the unstructured type of a program. This model is tested on the large number of inputs. Sometimes simulation is done to study the behavior of a system over a period of month in few days. Simulation helps in decision, helps the manager in decision making, right? So we discussed today. We discussed about MIS and DSS. MIS, we discussed about the various type of the problems. There could be structured problem and the unstructured problem. Structured problem is that problem which have a well-defined problem. Unstructured problem, not well-defined problem. There could be three types of a solution. Solutions could be programmed solution, semi-programmed solution, and the non-programmed solution. Programmed solution is that solution which can be mathematically modeled, and we can carry out the decisions according to this mathematical model. Semi-structured problem, semi-structured solution is where one or two phases can be mathematically modeled and other human intervention is required to take a decision. A non-programmed is it could not be mathematically model because it changes according to the change in the scenario, and these are based on the Siemens model of decision making. Simon has divided the decision making into three phases. That is, first is the intelligence phase, where one has to understand whether there is need to take a decision, or the second part is the design phase. In design phase, we design our alternatives according to our problem. And third phase is the choice phase. Choice phase is where one chooses one of the best alternative from the available alternatives, right? Organization and information system, H.G. Leviat has given, according to H.G. Leviat, he has viewed organization as a socio-technical system, and there is a two-way relationship between the organization and information. He has taken few variables like the structure, managerial tasks, people, technology, and culture. There is a two-way relationship between the organization and the. Then level, we discussed about the level of management. There are three levels of management: top, middle, and the lower level of management. Top level is known as the strategical level of management. Middle or the low level of management are also there, right? And then we discussed about the framework of MIS. What is MIS? What is we discussed about MIS and DIS, Management Information System. Management Information System is an integration of manpower as well as information system. It helps the decision maker. It helps the decision maker in taking a decision or in making a decisions. It assists, not helps, I should say, helps or assists the decision making maker in taking a decision. DSS is a decision support system. Decision support system, when the problem is unstructured type of a problem, then DSS helps the decision maker to take the decision maker helps the decision maker to take a decision, right? Then DSS carries out what if analysis, right? What if analysis, and if the problem is unstructured type of a problem, then the simulation model can be carried out, helps in decision making. That's all for today. Thank you very much. We will continue with this lecture in our next class. Till then, namaskar.